same system of Aryan social order was also spreading over these areas. As a result, the tribal population of these areas in western and eastern and southern area, they also came under the pale of Aryan social order. The tribal order of the lower or inferior class. Higher tribal order means the chieftains, tribal patriarch, who were at the highest level of the tribal society. The tribal leaders, those who have won wars, or those who have some supremacy in the society, they got some sort of higher social order, like they were declared or they were given the status of Kshatriyas. A bit layer to this higher social order of the tribal society, they became boisterous, or they became some sort of trading or merchants communities, we having some sort of respect in the society. Now coming to the lower order of the tribal, those who came under the fold of the Aryan Pale and those became cultivators and did different works, they were accorded the status of Sudras. Okay. Now, what is the difference and what is the genesis of the inferior and superior Sudra? We have certain reference to different scriptures or different literature where it has been mentioned different types of Sudras are there. Mainly a group of cultivators, they were accorded the status of Sudras. They were Sudra cultivators. Generally, they were considered as superior Sudras. Besides them, some crafts and arts, they were also crystallized into caste. My point is that some crafts and some art, the people engaged in these works, craftsmanship or artisans' work, they became also brought under different caste. They were accorded some new caste. And these castes were also accorded as Sudra caste. For example, the caste of Napito, the caste of Gaudiko. There were two types of Gaudiko. One who deals with the sugar cane and produce sugar, jaggery. That is Gaudiko. Another is who prepare different types of sweets from. So these were the caste who were regarded as this Bhojanya Sudra. Bhojanya Sudra means a Sudra from whom a Brahmin or a Kshatriya can take water, can take food. This is called Bhojanya Sudra. And the rest of the Sudras, they were considered as beyond the pale of the Bhojanya. Or Bhojanya means a Brahmin or a higher caste man cannot receive food or water from that Sudra, from the hands of that Sudra. Now, who were they? Those, yes. Yes, anybody?
Apna video mute hochi sir. Video mute hochi.
Oh, video mute hochi.
Ha.
You want to see me or you want to hear me? Okay. Both the things you want to. Okay. You see me as well as hear me, listen to me. Anyway. Now, those Sudras who were doing some sort of work that I have already told you day before yesterday in my last class, there were some Sudras who were not doing pure work, impure work. For example, Sudra having this Napita work, Sudra having this Gaudiko work, Sudra having this Malakar. Malakar means garlander, who deals with flowers. They were called superior Sudras, but these Sudras who were doing some cleaning work, cleaning the dirt. For example, this we can say there's a Dombo, and then there are some Sudras who are Hadis, Panas, like that. They were also Sudras. They also relegated to the status of Chandalas. These are the inferior Sudras who are called Chandalas. So from whom the higher caste society, higher caste men cannot receive water or food, and they were called inferior Sudras. So I can give you just a minute. I can give you some reference. Just a minute. Hold on. Yes, here. This is not from your material, but from other material that I have collected. Now, you see, this has been mentioned here. I am just reading out. You just note it down, or you can also keep it in your mind by listening. The expansion of the rural space and agricultural activities had been responsible for changes in the notion about the persons entitled to undertake this. First of all, you must understand, during early medieval period, there was another activity simultaneously going on. That activity was expansion of agriculture. Why this expansion of agriculture? Because there developed a system which was called land grant system. After post-Gupta period, this became a frequent custom or tradition in the society, and kings and feudatories, they used to donate land to the Brahmanas in huge quantities. Later on, these land grants was not confined to the Brahmanas only, and these land grants which were given to Brahmanas, you know it, that they were called Brahmadeva. And besides this Brahmadeva, there were certain danas, certain grants which were also made to the officers. They were secular grants. They were nothing to do with a religious merit. The land grants which were given to Brahmanas, they were having religious merit. But without any religious merits, officers and the less important officers of the state, as well as royal personalities having some sort of connection with the royalty or administration or political activities, they were also given grants in lieu of salaries. Salaries were previously given in coin money. Now, this system was stopped, lands were granted. And as a result, these people who got this land, they began to take some initiative to expand agriculture in their area, under their supervision. As a result, there was the necessity of manpower, necessity of labor, which will be employed to expand the agriculture and agricultural activity. And as such, we see those areas which were in the tribal location, these areas were they were made cultivable, as well as this tribal population, tribal people were also made to be cultivators. So these tribal people, when they became cultivators, they were also given the status of Sudra cultivator. Therefore, it has been mentioned that expansion of the rural space and agricultural activity had been responsible for changes in notions about persons entitled to undertake this. The law books of the post-Gupta centuries include agriculture in the Samanya Dharma. Samanya Dharma means common occupation. It is a common occupation of all the varnas. All the varnas are required to undertake the task of job of agriculture. Smritis of Parasara further emphasizes that in addition to their traditional sixfold duties of the generally Brahmana, the Brahmana could also be associated with agricultural activities. But Brahmana, as scriptures they dictate, they cannot do agricultural activities by themselves. They can at best employ some people for their agricultural activities, on their behalf. What we see here now, a major indicator of this effort was the bridging of the gap between Vaishyas and Sudras. When Vaishyas were having this agricultural work, traditional trading work, now when Sudras were also adopted, Sudras were also put in this work. Sudras also adopted agriculture as their occupation. So there was a gap, which that gap was minimized. The gap was lessened. And we see there were certain Sudras. You may note down this as per your question is concerned, this is a particular answer I am just dictating. There were certain Sudras who were called Bhojanya. That is, food prepared by whom could be taken even by Brahmanas. Many Tantric and Siddha teachers were Sudras performing works of fishermen, leather workers, washermen, blacksmith, etc. A text of the 18th century states that thousands of mixed castes were produced as a result of marriage between Vaishya men and men of lower caste. There is also a mention of Anasrita Sudra. Anasrita Sudra means the Sudra without having any shelter. It means indirectly we will say Sudra who were not dependent. Who were well-to-do and sometimes became members of local administrative committees and even made their way into the ruling aristocracies. These Anasrita Sudras who were not dependent, they were the superior class of Sudra. And those Sudras who were without having cultivable land, doing the work like a slave and doing some menial jobs like cleaning, they were called Asrita, or they were called the Sudra of the inferior quality. Is it clear now? Okay. Next, anybody else?
Sir, good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, ଏବେ ଯୋଉ ଚାରି ପ୍ରକାର ଶୂଦ୍ର କହିଲେ ଆଉ ଥରେ ଟିକେ ରିପିଟ୍ କରିବେ, କେବଳ ନା ଯାକ ଟିକେ ରିପିଟ୍ କରିବେ?
କରିବି, why not? ମୁଁ actually ଚାରି ପ୍ରକାର କହିନି, ମୁଁ କହିଛି ଦି ପ୍ରକାର ଶୂଦ୍ର, ଗୋଟେ ହଉଛି ଅନାଶ୍ରିତ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ହଉଛି ଭୋଜନ୍ୟ। ଭୋଜନ୍ୟ ଏବଂ ଅନାଶ୍ରିତଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଡିଫରେନ୍ସ ହେଲା, ଭୋଜନ୍ୟ ଯୋଉମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରୁ ଫୁଡ୍ ଗ୍ରହଣ କରିପାରିବେ ବ୍ରାହ୍ମଣ ମାନେ, ଏବଂ ତା ବ୍ୟତୀତ ଶୂଦ୍ର ଅଛନ୍ତି ଯୋଉମାନେ କି ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର କାମ କରନ୍ତି, ଲେଦର ୱାର୍କର୍ସ, ଫିସରମ୍ୟାନ, ୱାସରମ୍ୟାନ, ବ୍ଲାକସ୍ମିଥ। ଏହି ଶୂଦ୍ର ମାନେ ହଉଛନ୍ତି generally they were sometimes called asrita, or they were doing some sort of work which are not accepted by the society among the high class. Therefore, from them foods cannot be entertained, foods cannot be received. And there are certain Sudras who are called asrita. Asrita means those are dependent upon their masters. They are masters because they were having no land or no property as such. Therefore, they were to work in the master's land to have their livelihood continue. And they were generally called asrita. And then there was another kind of Sudras who were anasrita. Those were anasrita, and these Sudras were having some sort of social importance, and sometimes they became the member of the local administrative committee. Asrita, anasrita, bhojanya. These are the three types mainly, and among these anasrita and bhojanya, they were of superior Sudras and later was anasrita. Next, did you note down?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, next, anybody? Now, have you ever, everybody, I'm asking everybody, have you all understood this early medieval concept of early medieval period?
No, sir. Sir, please describe why should the category early medieval period exist? Describe about it, early medieval society and periodization.
Exactly. This is the most vital question, and sometimes it is very critical to understand, very confusing, and also it is very difficult to perceive. Sometimes it is difficult to perceive. And if we can discuss it in a plain manner, then there will be every ease to understand it. आमे जदि आकु आलोचना करिबा टिके प्लेनली सिंपल भाबरे आकु बुझि हबो, किंतु जदि ताकु भितरी आमे विभिन्न जिंस को एंटेंगल करिबा, विभिन्न जिंस को आमे ता भितरे पसे कि बुझिया को चाहिबा ताले बुझि हबनी. First of all, I must tell you, around towards the last part of 19th century, it is around 1872. Now, J.S. Mill was a philosopher as well as a historian and sociologist. He wrote a book, and in that book he mentioned that Indian history passed through three phases. The phase one is Hindu phase, phase two is Muslim phase, and phase three is the Christian phase or British phase, where European colonialism happened, or European colonialism occurred in Indian history. And in his book, he tried to show that Indians were backward, lagging behind during these initial two phases. जो early two phases दिटा कहली मु, Hindu phase, Muslim phase and Christian phase. एक phase रे हिंदू माने और इस्लाम मानकर शासन समय रे, फॉर एग्जांपल हमर जो हिंदू पीरियड प्राय पाखापाखि चलछि भारत रे 1106 पर्यंत, 1106 रु मुसलमान पीरियड आरंभ होछि एवं सरुछि हमर मुगल मानकर डाउनफॉल सहित जोंडा को हमें कहि परिबा 1757 मसिया बोली धरि परिया, जदियो 1757 मसिया एक्जेक्टली नो. तापर आरंभ होछि बैटल ऑफ पलासी ठारू ब्रिटिश मानकर कॉलोनियल रूल, जोंडा को क्रिश्चियन पीरियड बोली भी कहउछथि, धर्म हिसाब से जताको बांटो करूछथि भारतर इतिहास को. किंतु ए जो पीरियडाइजेशन मिल कले, इधर से देखिया चाहिए भारतीय माने से माने निजर सुविधा करिया पे केतले मध्य से माने सक्षम होई नांती. जेतले विदेश रु कोनोसी उडे शासन आसिला सेतले जाई कि से माने निजर सुविधा एवं निजर उन्नति करिया पे सक्षम हेले, एवं सेमाननको भितर उडे प्रोग्रेसिवनेस आसिला, सेमाननको भितर गोटे प्रकार रो उन्नति बा विकासशील आसिला. ये जो पीरियडाइजेशन दा संपूर्ण रूपे भूल थिला. परवर्ती समय रे किछि इंपीरियल हिस्टोरियन they tried to periodize history of India. For example, in Hans, they tried to differentiate Indian history into three phases again, and from earliest time to 11th century, 12th century, that is the Indian history, ancient India. Then from 11th, 12th century to 17th, 18th century, it was medieval India, and then modern India. And they also tried to focus that in the modern time, modern period of Indian history ushered with the colonial rule, with the establishment of the colonial rule in India. So they didn't try to differentiate any change. एथरे जो periodization फल रे कोन हैला कि periodization फल रे केवल रूल चेंज होबा सहित नेचर ऑफ पॉलिटी चेंज होबा सहित on the basis of religion and on the basis of origin of the political master, nature of the political rule or political masters छडा आ किछि periodization भीतर किछि नथिला. ए periodization अरे एबे एबे मते देखि परछन समय भाउचे मु भाउची मते मन देखा होछ. ओके, नाउ ए periodization भीतर कोन प्रॉब्लम थिला, ए periodization कोनोसी प्रकार रो फलप्रद हलान. बर्तन periodization हमें काउ कहबा, गुटे जदी कोनोसी प्रकार रो प्रोडक्टिव जिंस होछि, कोनोसी प्रकार गुटे चेंज होछि, मार्क होछि, चेंजिंग होछि, सेटा को हमें कहे ए पीरियड टू ए पीरियड. Example for yourself, you see, you are in high school, now you came to college, you come to higher studies. So these are three periods, but if you don't mark any changes from high school to college, college to university level, then there is no such importance of periodizing your entire career. Exactly that happened with the periodization of the imperial historian, or the periodization of J.S. Mill, as well as periodization done by nationalistic historian also. National historian who were actually imbibed with patriotic feeling. Now, around 60s, 1960s, from 60 to 70, there occurred another viewpoint that ancient India cannot be just pushed up to 12th century AD, because we have to see certain changes in between that, and that changes which has affected the all-round activities of the society, all-round activities of the economy, all-round activities of the human being, of all-round activities of the people of Indian subcontinent. So that changes, it was marked that from 6th century to 12th century, that is a phase of Indian history which experienced all-round changes in the sphere of human activity. And that changes not only affected political life, it also affected social as well as affected the economic activities of people of Indian civilization, of Indian of the region of India. So the historians, they try to put this medieval period, they try to push back this medieval period, push the medieval period a bit earlier, not from 12th, 13th century. They tried to make it from 6th century to 17th, 18th century AD. And therefore, they divided medieval into two periods. Early medieval period from 6th, 7th century AD to 13th century AD. The later medieval period, or medieval period as it is, 13th century to 18th century. So from 6th, 7th century AD, we see a number of changes. For example, we can say that these changes not only occurred in the sphere of politics, these changes was visible in every sphere of human activities, as I told you. So early medieval term, the term early medieval signifies an extremely problematic category. And because it attempts largely to see it as a departure rather than a consolidation of a process that was initiated in the early historic. It was not only a departure from early historic period, but it was also a consolidation page, and it was different from early historic. Secondly, we can say that it is very crucial to understand this medieval period, and why it is crucial to understand, taking the entire India into the scenario, taking the pan-Indian scenario, pan-Indian generalization into account. We cannot just give the medieval period, early medieval period of India as a uniform one, because you see during this time, political, after Harsha, during this time we see there was political divisions scattered all around India with different types of political master, with the different types of political denomination, political dominion. There were Rajputs in western and northern India. There were also Kalinga, rules of Kalinga, different kingdoms of Kalinga. There were also different kingdoms in Bengal. In south also there were different kingdoms like Cholas, Pandyas and Chalukyas. So different kingdoms also asserted, different kingdom they rose their head. So in this way, political unification was not there. Similarly, there were also some sort of difference in economic activity. While North India, Gangetic Plain, and South India was having some sort of rapid economic activity at that time, some pockets of India, they were not actually matching with that speed. They were lagging behind to some extent. But more or less, economic character, political character, as well as social character remain same. Therefore, this early medieval phase has been applied to whole of India. And now, as I told you, there were political division, there were political pockets in different parts of India. Similarly, these economic activities also marked by this grants of land grant system, which created a group of people who were called landed intermediaries or landed gentry. जो मानकु कुआला भूसंपत्तिर मालिक बा सेमानकु जमींदार बोली कुआला बा सामंत बोली कुआला एवं पॉलिटिकल कंडीशन ले मते देखाला जो अर्ली मेडिवल पीरियड जो एंशिएंट पीरियड रे अर्ली हिस्टोरिक पीरियड रे जो मोनार्की थिला जोटा कुआ जाउतला डेस्पोटिक monarchy বা benevolent monarchy. Those were monarch was a centralized entity. It was having a centralized administrative machinery, political point, centralized political point. Now coming to early medieval period, we see there were some sort of decentralization, because we see there were Raja, Maharaja, and also with the Raja, Maharaja, Samanta, Mahasamanta, Mandaladhikrita, these were the feudal lords, feudal kings who were also ruling in their respective kingdoms under the king, of course, but with their own sovereignty. So there was some sort of decentralized sovereignty. Sovereign was there at the center, but at the same time there were some powers who were also ruling like sovereign and in their respective territory. So in this way, also caste system, as I have already talked now, there was proliferation in caste. Because of the expansion of agriculture, new agricultural land also came to be toiled, came to be cultivated, and new class of cultivators, they also emerged. And they were generally Sudra cultivators. And these cultivators generally this mass of cultivators generally came from the tribal community, tribal population. And the higher tribal chief, they were accorded the Kshatriya status. In this way, there was some sort of changes in the caste factor, in the some changes in the social divisions or social orders, which is based upon born order. So early medieval period, in this way, the periodization of early medieval in this way was somewhat confusing, complicated, but it is not impossible to understand. You can understand it by just observing, also demarcating and analyzing these changes occurred, which were different from the early historic age. Okay. Who had asked me this question? I think Viduthalata had asked me a question. I think, are you satisfied with the answer?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, you are not satisfied unless until you read it and you understand it yourself. You cannot be satisfied. I know, because I am also a student. Before a teacher, I am a student. I read, then I try to explain it. So you have to understand it. It is not so easy. Okay. The social history, as we are going now, this fourth block, I may tell you, this fourth block is the most important block, and these 4 units, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are the most important unit among all this entire whole of the syllabus of unit that MHI 6. MHI 6 रे जते syllabus अछि, जते block अछि, जते unit अछि, ता भितर 4टा unit बहुत important ଏବଂ ଟିକେ बुझिया पे ଟିକେ कष्ट लागे, किंतु impossible no, कष्ट impossible no. Anyway, you try and you read it, try to understand it yourself. You can't understand, then I am here to again elaborate it. We are there for another 3 to 4 classes. We can also elaborate at that time. So next question, please. Next doubts. Next doubt. Yes.
Unit 13, sir.
Unit 13. Tell me.
Sir, the feudalism debt. The feudalism debt.
Feudalism?
Debt, sir.
Death.
Debt.
Dead?
Debt.
Debate.
Yes, sir.
Debate. Debate on Indian feudalism. Not debt. Debate. Debate means tarka. You see, it is very interesting. It is a very interesting topic, and it is a very interesting question. You know why interesting? Now you see, have you heard about feudalism before it? You Sarmila, you are Sarmila. Sarmila, have you ever heard about feudalism before it? What does it mean by feudalism? I told, while I was answering the question of Viduthlata, I have referred feudalism twice or thrice. Have you ever heard what feudalism is? Unless you understand feudalism, you cannot understand the debate concerning feudalism.
Sir, Samantavad.
Samantavad. Odia. This is the answer. This is the answer, typical answer of feudalism, that Samantavad is the Odia translated form of feudalism. It means if I ask you what is the meaning of rice, you will just tell me bhatta. That is not the thing. Actually, bhatta is not the meaning of rice. It is the translated form of rice. You are telling it in English, you are telling it in India. But what is this Samantabad? You have to understand. You see, Samantabad is a form of intermediary system. Intermediary means, now see, I'm now explaining, but I'm not here. I will employ somebody in my place to explain you, who will be acting under my authority. I have given him some charge to look up. Now you are suppose you are 14 to 15. I cannot verify all these things, all these studies, all these tasks of all these students, all these learner. I gave some charge. I gave charge to some 3 to 4 juniors, that you look after these 4, you look after these 4, you look after these 4, you look after these 4. In this way, I gave some charge to my juniors, and they became intermediaries. Now you are talking directly to me. Now you cannot talk directly to me. You will talk through my juniors to me. You may not talk to me. So they were just like intermediaries. Exactly. Actually, in our teaching profession, there is no system of intermediaries. I'm just giving you an example. Don't take it. It is an example. Now, in this feudalism, what happened? There were intermediaries. I told you that in early medieval period, there occurred some changes in the political sphere also. In the political sphere, we see there were some authority, some political entities, they came out. Their terms are this, their names are frequently met in the inscription of this period. These names are Samantas, Mahasamantas, Mandalidhikrita, Mahamandalodhikrita, Upasamanta, like that. And who were they? The kings are referring kings of different region. For example, Odisha, Bengal, in Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, South India as a whole, Maharashtra, all these inscriptions, they refer to these entities, political entities, administrative entities, administrative officials. Who were they? They were the intermediaries, political intermediaries. How political intermediaries? They were ruling on behalf of the king in their respective areas that have been assigned to them. In that way, the task of the king, the responsibility of the king, and the responsibility of the king was somewhat shared by these intermediaries, Samanta, Mahasamanta, Mandalidhikrita, Mahamandalodhikrita, like that. Rajanya, like the Rajaputra. Rajaputra was also another term. Rajaputra. In this way, these are the called intermediaries, political intermediaries, and there were Samantas. Now, this sort of Samantavada prevailed in the early medieval period. Now, what happened? Some scholars, like it was the scholar, first scholar was B.N. Datta, who first formulated this theory of Indian feudalism. Then it was carried on by D.D. Kosambi. Then it was also carried on by R.S. Sharma. Later on, R.S. Sharma also wrote a very beautiful book on Indian feudalism. They all claimed that there was a feudalism or feudalistic character of Indian feudalistic character of Indian society during the early medieval phase. In this feudalistic character, entire society, including political activities, economic exercises, they all came under this feudal character. And who were the exploiter? Who were the exploiter of the surplus? You know, major role was played by the tiller of the land. They till the land and they produce the agricultural products. After consumption, whatever remains, that was regarded as surplus. Then who were the exploiter of this surplus? Who were the real consumer of this surplus? According to this scholar, the exploiter of the surplus were the higher class, higher strata of the society. For example, king and the Brahmins. Brahmin landlords who were giving the lands or villages as on the basis of this land grant system for religious merit, as well as the Kshatriya lords, Samanta, Mahasamanta, Rajanya, Rajaputra, etc. They also the exploiter of the Then who were the serf? The serf were the landless Kishan or tiller of the land, agriculturalist, Sudra cultivator, as I told you. Ashrita Sudra cultivators, they were the tiller of the soil, and they were just like servitude. They were slaves, dasas, because they had no land. They were tilling the lands of these higher caste people, and they were dependent upon this higher caste, and they were the slave. And why I am just putting this slave as well as higher caste, all these things from this mouth of this scholar. Scholars were R.S. Sharma, D.T. Kosambi, and B.N. Datta like scholars. They are of the opinion that these are the things who happened in India during this time from 6th century or 7th century AD to 12th, 13th century AD, 500 to 600 years. Okay. Now, could you understand? So, I was asking Sarmila. Could I understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, it is not over. Just this is a part. Now, this is the Indian concept of feudalism advocated by some scholars. But what they try to show that the feudalistic character that existed in India during this time was also in equal footing like that of the European counterpart. I may tell you, going a bit beyond of our subject matter, in Europe, from 600 AD to 1300 AD, a period continued. That period is also called medieval period, European medieval period. And that period is also called dark period of European history. Why this is dark period? Because during this time, there was complete shutdown of mobility. ଯେମିତି ଆମର ଏখানে ଶନିବାର ରବିବାର mobility shutdown କରିଦିଆଉଛି, entire 400-500-600 ବର୍ଷ ଭିତରେ mobility shutdown କରିଦିଆଲା ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର, ଯିଏ ଯୋଉଠି ଅଛି ସେଇଠି ରହିବ। ଏବଂ କଣ ହେଲା, ରଜା ମାନେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପାୱାରଫୁଲ ଶକ୍ତିଶାଳୀ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଅଞ୍ଚଳ ବା ବିଭିନ୍ନ ରିଜିଅନ ଉପରେ ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ ଦେଲେ ଏବଂ ଏଇ ଅଞ୍ଚଳ ଗୁଡ଼ିକୁ କୁହାଗଲା ଗୋଟେ ଫିଫ୍ বা ফিউড। এই শব্দ ফিফ শব্দ বা ফিউড শব্দରୁ ଆସିଲା ফিউডালিଜିম। ମାନେ ଫିଉଡ ଫିଫ୍ ଶବ୍ଦର ଅର୍ଥ ହେଲା ସଏଲ ଅର ଏ ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ଏବଂ এই ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ବା ସଏଲ ଶବ୍ଦରୁ ଆସୁଛି ଫିଉଡାଲିଜିମ। ମିନ୍ସ ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ଏବଂ ସଏଲ ଉପରେ ଯୋଉ ଅଧିକାର ସାବ୍ୟସ୍ତ କଲେ ଫିଉଡାଲ ଲର୍ଡ ମାନେ, ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ କଣ କଲେ, ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ନିଜ ଅଞ୍ଚଳ ଉପରେ ଖାଲି ରାଜୁତି କଲେନି, ରଜାଙ୍କୁ କର ଦେଲେ, ଦରକାର ପଡ଼ିଲେ ରଜାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ସୈନ୍ୟ ପଠେଇଲେ, ଦରକାର ପଡ଼ିଲେ ରଜାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଉପହାର ଇତ୍ୟାଦି ପଠେଇଲେ, କିନ୍ତୁ ନିଜ ଅଞ୍ଚଳ ଉପରେ ସେମାନେ ସୋଭରେନ୍ ଭଳିଆ, ସର୍ବଶକ୍ତିମାନ ଭଳିଆ ସେମାନେ ରାଜୁତି କଲେ। ସେ ସମୟରେ ୱେଷ୍ଟର୍ଣ୍ଣ ୟୁରୋପରେ ବହୁତ ସମୟରେ ଅତ୍ୟାଚାର ହଉଥିଲା, ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଆଟାକ ହଉଥିଲା, ବିଭିନ୍ନ ପ୍ରକାର ଲୁଣ୍ଠନକାରୀ ମାନେ ଯାଇକି ଲୁଣ୍ଠନ କରୁଥିଲେ। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ରାଜା ମାନେ ସେଇ ଲୁଣ୍ଠନକାରୀଙ୍କୁ ଦମନ କରିପାରିଲେନି, ଏଇଭଳି ଶକ୍ତିଶାଳୀ ଅଞ୍ଚଳ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଅଞ୍ଚଳର ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ ଦେଇଦେଲେ। ଏଇ ଶକ୍ତିଶାଳୀ ଲୋକମାନେ ନିଜ ନିଜ ଅଞ୍ଚଳ ଗୁଡ଼ିକୁ ଗୋଟେ ମେନର ବା ଗୋଟେ ସାମନ୍ତ ଅଞ୍ଚଳରେ ପରିଣତ କଲେ। ଏଇ ସାମନ୍ତ ଅଞ୍ଚଳକୁ କୁହାଯାଏ ମେନର। ଏଇ ମେନର ମଝିରେ ଗୋଟେ ଦୁର୍ଗ ଥାଏ, ଏଇ ଦୁର୍ଗ ଚାରି ପାଖରେ ଜମି ଥାଏ, ଜମିରେ ଚାଷବାସ କରନ୍ତି ଲୋକମାନେ, କୃଷକମାନେ। ଏବଂ ଯେତେବେଳେ କୌଣସି ଲୁଣ୍ଠନ ହୁଏ ବା କୌଣସି ପ୍ରକାର ଆକ୍ରମଣ ହୁଏ, ମେନର ଭିତରେ ଯୋଉ ଗୋଟେ କେସଲ ଥାଏ, ଯୋଉଠି ଫ୍ୟୁଡାଲ ଲର୍ଡ ରହନ୍ତି, କେସଲ ଅର୍ଥ ଦୁର୍ଗ, ଏଇ ଦୁର୍ଗ ଭିତରେ ସେମାନେ ପଶିଯାଆନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ଦୁର୍ଗର ଦ୍ୱାର ବନ୍ଦ କରିଦିଆଯାଏ ଏବଂ ଦୁର୍ଗ ଉପରେ ଯୋଉ ସବୁ ଟାୱାର ଥାଏ ସେଇଠୁ ଯାଇକି ସେମାନେ ଅସ୍ତ୍ରଶସ୍ତ୍ର ଧରିକି ଯାଇକି ଲୁଣ୍ଠନକାରୀ ଆକ୍ରମଣକାରୀଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଲଢେଇ କରନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଘୋଡେଇ ଦିଅନ୍ତି। ଘୋଡେଇ ଦେଲା ପରେ ତାପରେ ପୁଣି ସମସ୍ତେ ନିଜ ନିଜ କାମରେ ଲାଗିଯାଆନ୍ତି। ଏଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଥିଲା। ଏବଂ ମେଜରିଟି ସେମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଥିଲେ ସର୍ଫ। ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ସର୍ଫ ମାନଙ୍କୁ କୁହାଯାଇ ପାରିବ ସ୍ଲେଭ। ସେମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ନିଜର ଜମି ନଥିଲା, ସେମାନେ ଏଇ ଜମିଦାରଙ୍କର ବା ଫ୍ୟୁଡାଲ ଲର୍ଡ ବା ସାମନ୍ତ ମାନଙ୍କ ଜମିରେ ଚାଷ କରୁଥିଲେ। ଏ ସାମନ୍ତ ମାନଙ୍କ ଜମିରେ ଚାଷ କରି ସାମନ୍ତ ମାନେ ଦଉଥିବା ଯାହା କିଛି ଶସ୍ୟ, ସେମାନେ ସେ ଶସ୍ୟର ଚଳୁଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ସାମନ୍ତର ଯୋଉ କେସଲ ଥିଲା, ଦୁର୍ଗ ବାହାରେ ଥିବା ମେନର ଭିତରେ ମଧ୍ୟରେ ଛୋଟିଆ ଗୋଟେ କୁଡିଆ ରହୁଥିଲେ, ଗୋଟେ କିଆ ରୁମ ବାଲା କୁଡିଆ, ଯୋଉଥିରେ କି ତାଙ୍କର ନିଜ ଗୃହପାଳିତ ପଶୁ ଯଥା ଛେଳି, ମେଣ୍ଢା, ଗାଈ ଗୋରୁ ଯଦି କିଛି ଥାଏ ତାରି ଭିତରେ ସେମାନେ ରହୁଥିଲେ, ଖାଉଥିଲେ, ପିଉଥିଲେ, ରାନ୍ଧୁଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ଏ ପଶୁମାନଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଶୋଉଥିଲେ। ସେମାନଙ୍କ ଜୀବନ ପଶୁ ତୁଲ୍ୟ ଥିଲା। ଏଇ ସର୍ଟ ମାନଙ୍କର ଜୀବନ ଏବଂ ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ମାନେ ଦିନଚର୍ଯ୍ୟା ଅତ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଦୟନୀୟ ଥିଲା ଏବଂ ସେମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ନିଜର ଜମି ନଥିଲା। ତାପରେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର ଲୋକ ଥିଲେ, ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ କୁହାଯାଉଥିଲା ଫ୍ରି ମ୍ୟାନ, ମୁକ୍ତ ମଣିଷ। ସେମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ନିଜର ଜମି ଥିଲା, କିନ୍ତୁ ଜମିର ଯାହା କିଛି ସେମାନଙ୍କର ଆୟ ହଉଥିଲା ତାର ଅର୍ଦ୍ଧାଧିକ ଭାଗ ଫ୍ୟୁଡାଲ ଲର୍ଡକୁ तो से पाखे किसी रोना कि गोटे अजब आईन था यूरोप रे जो मैंने सामंत अंचल जो सामंत अंचल रही से सामंत अंचल रे अन्य सामंत अंचल को जापरेनि जदि जीवे निजर मुक्ति किनिया सामंत जो अर्थ दाबी कर दबाक पड़ो से कई लोक कुआड़े जाऊन निज निज अंचल मानक रोते सो इन दिस वे गोटे कहीपर मोबिलिटी बा चालीचलन बंद हो जाता जो अंचल जी से अंचल रोला लोकालाइज्ड होगला लोकालाइज्ड मीन्स सब जिनस स्थानीयकरण होगला स्थानीय से मेनर भितर से फ्यूडाल लॉर्ड अधीन जहाँ किसी उत्पादन करागला शस्य हो बा तैल जातिक पदार्थ हो से चक्की पेसिले तैल जातक पदार्थ रू तैल बाहर कले से चलले सो कह गले मनी इकोनॉमी बा करेन्सी कौन आवश्यकता नाला इट वाज ए सेल्फ सफिशिएंट इकोनॉमी सेल्फ सफिशिएंट इकोनॉमी कहले कौन बुझु आमे जे आत्मनिर्भरशील जमी एगना कहूँ आत्मनिर्भरशील भारत आत्मनिर्भरशील जहाँ किसी से अंचल रोला से अंचल भितर ही खर्च होता सो से लेन देन बा दिया निया कौन प्रकार आपस वाणिज्य व्यवसाय नथिला इन दिस वे दिस फ्यूडालिज्म एक्जिस्टेड इन यूरोप से दिस स्कॉलर माने से माने यूरोपियन मॉडल को भारत रे थोपिया पई चाहउछंती भारतीय जो हमर अर्ली मिडिवल पीरियड रे जो प्रकार फ्यूडाल ऑर्डर हैला जो प्रकार फ्यूडाल ढांचा चलीला ताकू से माने कहउछंती एटा यूरोपियन फ्यूडालिज्म बलिया सो ताकू आउ किछि स्कॉलर विरोध करछंती तांक भितरु जने स्कॉलर रे हरवंश मुखिया से जेएनयू रे थिले प्रोफेसर से ताकू विरोध करछंती ए जो विरोधताडू कुआ जाय तर्क जेमिति जने कहला गुटे कथा जने गुटे विषय पर तार उपस्थापन कला मत आउ जने गुटे विषय पर उपस्थापन करिवो हमें ताकू कोन को तर्क এই তর্কটাକୁ ଆଉ ଜଣେ ବିରୋଧ କରୁଛନ୍ତି এই ବିରୋଧଟାକୁ ଆମେ ତର୍କ ବୋଲି କହିବା ଏବଂ ସେ ବିରୋଧ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କି ହରବଂଶ ମୁଖିଆ ଏବଂ ଆହୁରି କିଛି ଲୋକ ସେମାନେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଭାରତର ଯୋଉ ଫ୍ୟୁଡାଲ ଅର୍ଡର ବା ସାମନ୍ତ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ୟୁରୋପ ଭଳିଆ ନଥିଲା କାରଣ ଭାରତରେ नो डाउट आर्टिसान क्राफ्ट्समैन माने ସହରରୁ ପଳେଇଗଲେ ଗାଁକୁ ମନି ଇକୋନୋମି ବନ୍ଦ ହେଇଗଲାନି ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ରୂପେ ବନ୍ଦ ହେଲାନି ମନି ଇକୋନୋମି କିଛି ପରିମାଣରେ ରହିଲା ଯୋଉଥିରେ କି ସାମନ୍ତ एवं अन्यान्य सम्भ्रांत वंश लोक माने धनिक वंश माने से माने किछि किछि सामग्री विलास व्यसन सामग्री मध्ये किणुतिले व्यापार वाणिज्य भी चलला किंतु जो भले भाव आर्ली हिस्टोरिक पीरियड बड़ बड़ सहर थिला व्यापार वाणिज्य थिला मनी इकोनॉमी करेन्सी बा पैसा पत्रर प्रचलन थिला ता कमी गला किंतु संपूर्ण रूपे बंद हो जाइनतला तापर मोबिलिटी मध्ये ह्रास पाइला किंतु मोबिलिटी को बंद करा जाय नतला कोनोसी फ्यूडल लॉर्ड ता पय पैसा मागु नतले कोनोसी प्रकार रो लैंड इंटरमीडिएट ता पय पैसा मागु नतले जे जदी जेमिति यूरोप रे तमे जदी एई अंचल रो आरो अंचल को जीवो पैसा देकी जीवो सेमिति के पैसा मागु नतले तापर द्वितीय तृतीय कथा कोन हला से माने कहया कथा जे यूरोपियन मॉडल रो जो फ्यूडलिज्म थिला फ्यूडल लॉर्ड पाखर आर्मी थिला गोटे स्टैंडिंग आर्मी किंतु यूरो हमर इंडियन फ्यूडलिज्म जोटा कहउची फ्यूडल ऑर्डर सेटा स्टैंडिंग आर्मी कौन सी सामंत पाखरे आर्मी थिला महासामंत पाखरे आर्मी थिला किंतु ब्राह्मण इंटरमीडिएट जे थिला जे दान नै जे जमी ता पाखरे आर्मी नथिला से त निजर प्रति हो ता निजर प्राधान्यता हो बा ता निजर ज्ञान बळ रे से अंचल पर से निजर प्रभाव विस्तार करि परथला ता पाखरे अति बेसी रे 4-5टा लाठीधारी देह रखिथिबे अदरवाइज सेमिति आर्मी व्यवस्था फ्यूडल लॉर्ड मान पाखे जो इंटरमीडिएट मान पाखे नथिला जेमिति यूरोपियन मॉडल थिला सो से माने कहया कथा जे यूरोपियन मॉडल को भारतीय व्यवस्था सामाजिक व्यवस्था से तो तुलना करा जाय परिबो देखो तर्क नंबर एटा होची गोटे तर्क तुम जो कहलो डिबेट एटा होची फर्स्ट पॉइंट यूरोपियन मॉडल कैन नॉट बी कंपेयर्ड विथ द इंडियन मॉडल ऑफ इंडियन मॉडल ऑफ landed intermediary system which is termed as feudal system cannot be compared then intermediaries landed intermediaries were not feudal lord but subordinate to state samane state prati subordinate thile raja ko adhin रहउथिले एवं राजा को डिक्टेशन को मानिया बाध्य थिले यूरोप रे मध्य से थिला किंतु यूरोप रे जो प्रकार सोवरेनिटी फ्यूडल लॉर्ड माने एक्सरसाइज करथुले निज निज अंचल रे से बलिया नथिला एठी किछि परिमाण ले प्रभाव थिला किंतु सेति कि नथिला सेकेंडली सर्फडम वाज नॉट एक्जिस्टिंग इन इंडिया इटी जो प्रकार स्लेवरी बोली कहउला दैट वाज नॉट स्लेवरी इट वाज ए टाइप ऑफ इंटरैक्शन बिटवीन द लैंडलॉर्ड एंड हिज पिजन्स Not it was a slavery type of thing as in the European model. Then currency, circulation of currency was not totally stopped. Circulation of currency was there, but it was limited. It was less. It was decreased in comparison to the time of early historic phase. Then urban centers were also completely, urban decay was there. Decay means आस्ते आस्ते ह्रास हो जाइतला, संपूर्ण रूपे विलोप होई नथला. ह्रास हबा और विलोप हबा भितर तफात अछि. सो कहउचंती urban center नथला. Urban center थिला, for example, the urban center like Boisari was there, Kasi was there. There were urban centers like Ujjain. Those centers which were also existing in the early historic age, but their glory and their charismatic condition was not there. It was somewhat lessened. It was somewhat deteriorated. It was not totally abolished, or it was not totally removed from the scenario. So this is the debate on Indian feudalism. Eta bujhiya bada kashta. Mu jodi kahili Sharmila, if you have heard it patiently and if you have note down, then I think you can read it and you can understand it. Mu jodi kahili jaha kahili taku jodi tame note down karthibo, nishchit bhave au thare padla belaku bujhi haba. Anyway, thank you. And next question. Not thank you. I will give go for 5 minutes break for taking a glass of water. Before that, you can ask me another question. Then I will go to next unit.
Hello, sir.
Susri, tell me, what is your problem?
Sir, what are the reasons behind the urban decay?
I told you, na, urban decay. Yes, I shall again explain it. Urban decay. What are the causes? What are the factors for urban decay? Is your question?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, please explain me the framework for consolidation. 14.2.
What do you want to ask me?
The framework for consolidation.
Consolidation of what?
Sir, I cannot understand. Please explain me.
Then you tell me which unit and which subsection.
14.2, page number 22.
14.2.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. First, I shall give an answer to Susri. Then I shall come to Urina. Okay. 14.2.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I shall come to you after giving answer to Susri. Now, your question is, what are the urban decline? First of all, it is because of number 1 point. You may put it down so that you can understand while you are reading. The emergence of land grant system. If you note down it point wise, then you can understand it. Also, you can also understand while you are reading by the book. This land grant system created a group of landed intermediaries. We may call it landed gentry, and that is considered as the hallmark of Indian feudalism. Bharatiya Samantavadar उत्थान पाई, भारतीय सामंतवादर स्थापन पाई जो भूमि अनुदान प्रथा थिला दायी. So first decay in urban decay was one of the most vital point is this land grant system. Kaiki land grant system hela? Number one mu koi dochi. First of all, this land grant system was initiated by the rulers of different dynasty, of different areas in India, throughout India, in the post-Gupta period. Post-Gupta period, which you may call it in the 5th, 6th century AD, and it became very frequent around 7th, 8th century AD. From 7th, 8th century AD to 13th, 14th century AD. This land grant system became very frequent. And as a result of this land grant system, this was initiated at the early stage for the purpose of the religious merit. Religious merit कहले हम ओडिया कहले पुण्य कमाया पे ब्राह्मण मानकु दान दिया होतला. Later on, around 4th, 5th century, there was some sort of social chaos, social confusion. हम जाय कहबा सामाजिक अस्थिरता गोटे प्रकार हैला. कोन हैला? जो शूद्र कल्टिवेटर्स माने शूद्र कल्टिवेटर केवल आमे देखिया पाउने अर्ली मिडियल पीरियड अर्ली हिस्टोरिक पीरियड रो ससळक मध्ये शूद्र माने कल्टिवेटर थिले. प्रथम रो मध्ये शूद्र माने कल्टिवेट करथिले. जो शूद्र कल्टिवेटर माने कालक्रमे धनी हे गले बा प्रतिपत्ति तांकर बढ़िला से माने एवं परवर्ती अवस्था रे वैश्य माने जो माने कल्टिवेशन करथिले एवं ट्रेड करथिले से माने कर खजना देबा को मना कर देले बा विभिन्न प्रकार आंदोलन कले विप्लव कले जहा फल रे गोटे प्रकार धर्म क्षेत्र रे बा धर्म भ्रष्ट बा परिस्थिति को आसीगला. कहा जाए जे कली जुग जुगु ए जिनसटा होतला हला जे कली जुग रे जेमिति लोक माने मानिबेनी धर्म कर्म इत्यादि मानिबेनी ता फल कली रो प्रवेश जुग ए जो जिनस होउची एवं फल रे राजा माने देखिले जेतले कर खजना आदय करे होनी से माने कोन कले ब्राह्मण मानकु जो माने टिके धर्म ग्रंथ पढ़ी शिक्षित एवं जो मानकर किछटा प्रतिवृत्ति थिला ज्ञानी भाव परिणत होते से देले विभिन्न अंचल पर दायित्व एवं ये लैंड ग्रांट्स जरिया भूमि अनुदान जरिया से आसी ब्राह्मण माने से अंचल मानक टिकस कलेक्शन करेंगे एवं से अंचल विभिन्न लोक मानक निजर प्रतिपत्ति विस्तार करेंगे एवं शिक्षार उन्नति करेंगे एवं जो अंचल गुड़िक चाष उपयोगी नुह ताकू चाष उपयोगी करेंगे एवं प्रकृत पक्षे जिनस गुड़ाक क्षेत्र में संभव है एवं परवर्ती अवस्था 6-7 सेंचुरी एडी बेलू राजा माने ब्राह्मण मानक व्यतीत सरकारी ऑफिसर मानक लैंड ग्रांट्स देले. बर्तमान सरकारी ऑफिसर मानक जो लैंड ग्रांट्स दियाला कोन पई तांको दरमा बदल दियाला को मानकु मंत्री मानकु सामंत मानकु एवं ता सहित अमात्य माने सेक्रेटरी लेवल हमर जो माने हला विभिन्न सैनिक मानकु एवं सैनिक सेनापति मानकु लैंड ग्रांट सब दियाला. एई लोक माने निज निज अंचल जहाँ किसी टैक्स आसला सेतुर सेमान चलले एवं ता सहित भूमि रो जहाँ उत्पादन आसला से गुडा को नेकी चलले. रिजल्ट कोन हैला राजांक पाखु को जो कर खजना आसुतला जहार बळ रे जहार जहाँ को पाथ्य करी जो कहि पारे जहाँ बेसिस रे राजा दरमा दउतले विभिन्न ऑफिसर मान को दरमा दउतले सैन्य कर्मचारी मान को दरमा दउतले एवं राज्यर विभिन्न उन्नतिमूलक कार्य करा जाउतला से सब कार्य प्रायतः बंद हो गला. दरमा तो दवा को पड़लानी कहीं ना कर्मचारी मान को सैनिक मान को सेना ऑफिसर मान को भूमि अनुदान दे दीचंती. ता व्यतीत वेलफेयर एक्टिविटीज आल्सो कुड नॉट बी कैरिड आउट बिकॉज ऑफ द एब्सेंस इन द रेवेन्यू or the royal income was cut short. Result is that जो अर्बन सेंटर गुड़ाक थिला से अर्बन सेंटर जो किना बिका होतला का माध्यम रे पैसा जो विभिन्न प्रकार अर्थ आस्तला कॉइन मनी आस्तला विभिन्न प्रकार मुद्रा राजा माने छपौथले. फॉर एग्जांपल गुप्त पीरियड आमे कथा थाई जे गुप्त पीरियड राजा माने स्वर्ण मुद्रा रौप्य मुद्रा एवं विभिन्न प्रकार ताम्र मुद्रा मध्य से प्रचलन करैथिले छापुथिले तयारी करथुले एवं स्वर्ण मुद्रा से दिन सार भी कहउथिले मु सुनिछि स्वर्ण मुद्रा कोन सजेस्ट करे रिचनेस ऑफ द इकोनॉमी अर्थनीति रो गोटे प्रकार समृद्धि शालिता को रिप्रेजेंट करे. सेमिति रूप मुद्रा कम समृद्धि किंतु ताम्र मुद्रा हेले बहुत कम समृद्धि এইভাবে ভাବରେ ଆମେ ତିନୋଟି ମୁଦ୍ରାକୁ ନେଇପାରିବା। ସେମିତି ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛୁ ଆର୍ଲି ହିଷ୍ଟୋରିକ ଫେଜରେ ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ସେଞ୍ଚୁରୀ ଏଡୁ ନେଇକି 4th 5th ସେଞ୍ଚୁରୀ ଏଡି ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସ୍ୱର୍ଣ୍ଣ ମୁଦ୍ରା ରୂପେ ମୁଦ୍ରା ଏବଂ ତାମ୍ର ମୁଦ୍ରା ପ୍ରଚଳନ ହେଉଛି ଏବଂ ଇକୋନୋମିରେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାରର ସମୃଦ୍ଧି ଲକ୍ଷ୍ୟ କରାଯାଉଥିଲା। ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କଣ ହେଲା, ଯେହେତୁ ଇଣ୍ଟରମିଡିଆରିଜ ମାନେ ଏବଂ ଅଫିସର ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ଗ୍ରାଣ୍ଟ ଦିଆଗଲା, ରାଜାଙ୍କୁ ଦରମା ଦେବାକୁ ଆବଶ୍ୟକ ପଡ଼ିଲାନି। ଫଳରେ ମୁଦ୍ରା ଯୋଉ ସୈନିକ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ବା କର୍ମଚାରୀ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଦରମା ଆକାରରେ ଦିଆଯାଉଥିଲା ତାର ଆବଶ୍ୟକତା ନଥିଲା। ସୋ ମୁଦ୍ରାର ଏତେ ଆବଶ୍ୟକତା ନଥିବା ଯୋଗୁଁ ମୁଦ୍ରା ମଧ୍ୟ ତିଆରି ହେଲାନି। ରାଜାଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ରେଭିନ୍ୟୁ କମ ଥିଲା, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସହରରେ କିଣା ବିକା ମଧ୍ୟ ବନ୍ଦ ହେଇଗଲା। ସୋ ଯୋଉ କ୍ରାଫ୍ଟସମ୍ୟାନ ଏବଂ ଆର୍ଟିସାନ ମାନେ ଥିଲେ ସେମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ କାମ ହରାଇଲେ, ସେମାନେ ଗାଁକୁ ପଳାଇଲେ। ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଅବସ୍ଥା ହେଲା ତମେ ଦେଖିଥିବ, ଯୋଉ 4-5 ମାସ ଭିତରେ ତମେ ଶୁଣୁଥିବ, ଖବର ଦେଖୁଥିବ, ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରକାର କରୋନା ମହାମାରୀ ସମୟରେ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଲୋକ କାମ ହରେଇକି ଗାଁକୁ ପଳେଇ ଆଇଲେ ନା, କିଏ ରହିଲା କି ସେଇଠି, କାହିଁକିନା ଫ୍ୟାକ୍ଟ୍ରି ବନ୍ଦ ହେଇଗଲା। ତମେ ଚିନ୍ତା କର ସେଭଳି ଗୋଟେ ପରିସ୍ଥିତି, କରୋନା ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ମହାମାରୀ ବିପଦ ସମୟରେ, କିନ୍ତୁ କାଳକ୍ରମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଅର୍ଥନୀତିରେ ଅବନୀତି ଆସିବ ଏବଂ ଅର୍ଥନୀତିର କୌଣସି ପ୍ରକାର ସମୃଦ୍ଧି ଦେଖାଯିବନି, ତାହେଲେ କିଣା ବିକା ବନ୍ଦ ହେଇଯିବ, କମିଯିବ ଏବଂ ଯୋଉ ଆର୍ଟିସାନ ମାନେ କ୍ରାଫ୍ଟସମ୍ୟାନ ମାନେ ଯୋଉ ତିଆରି କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଜିନିଷ ତାକୁ କରିପାରିବେନି। ସେମାନେ କଣ କରିବେ, ବାଧ୍ୟ ହେଇକି ସେମାନେ ପଳେଇବେ ଗାଁକୁ। ଗାଁକୁ କଣ ପାଇଁ, ଚାଷ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, କାରଣ ନିଜର ପରିବାର ପୋଷଣ କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ଚଳିବା ପାଇଁ, ବଞ୍ଚିବା ପାଇଁ ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଦରକାର। ଖାଦ୍ୟ ଉତ୍ପାଦନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାଷ ଦରକାର, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସେମାନେ ଚାଷ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ପଳେଇଲେ ଗାଁକୁ। ଫଳରେ ଅର୍ବାନ ଡିକେ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଇଗଲା। ଅର୍ବାନ ଡିକେ ର କାରଣ ହଉଛି ଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ଗ୍ରାଣ୍ଟ ପ୍ରଥମେ। ସୋ ଅର୍ବାନ ଡିକେ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଇଗଲା, କିନ୍ତୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଡିକେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଏଟା ଡିକ୍ଲାଇନ ନଥିଲା, ଏଟା ନଥିଲା ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ରୂପେ ଡାଉନଫଲ ବା ଏବୋଲିଶ। ଶୁଣ, ଡିକେ ମାନେ ଆସ୍ତେ ଆସ୍ତେ ତାର ହ୍ରାସ ହେଲା, ଅବନୀତି ହେଲା, କିନ୍ତୁ ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ରୂପେ ଲୋପ ପାଇଯାଇ ନଥିଲା ସହର ମାନେ। ମୁଁ ଏଇଟା କହିଲି, ବୈଶାଳୀ, କାନ୍ୟକୁବ୍ଜ, କନୌଜ ଏବଂ ତମର ଉଜ୍ଜୟିନୀ ଇତ୍ୟାଦି ସହର ମାନେ ରହିଲେ। ଏଇ ସମୟରେ ମଦୁରାଇ ସହର ବି ଦେଖୁଛୁ, ନୂଆ ନୂଆ ସହର ବି ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି, ତିଆରି ହଉଛନ୍ତି। ଯୋଉ ନୂଆ ସହର ଗୁଡାକ ରାଜା ମାନଙ୍କର ହେଡକ୍ୱାର୍ଟର ଥିଲେ, ପଲିଟିକାଲ ହେଡକ୍ୱାର୍ଟର, ସେମାନେ ନୂଆ ନୂଆ ଆସ୍ତେ ଆସ୍ତେ ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି। ସୋ ଏଇଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଆମେ ଅର୍ବାନ ଡିକେ ଦେଖୁଛୁ। ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର ଯୋଉ ସହରର ଲାଳିତ୍ୟ ଥିଲା, ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର ସୁନ୍ଦରତା ଥିଲା, ଔଜ୍ଜଲ୍ୟତା ଥିଲା, ବା ଯାହାକୁ କହିବା ଚେରିସମାଟିକ picture of a township or an urban center was no more. Charismatic luster was no more, but urban center remained and coin money संपूर्ण रूपे बंद ହେଇଗଲାନି। अर्थ बा जो मुद्रा संपूर्ण रूपे बंद ହେଇଗଲାନି। କିଛି ପରିମାଣରେ ତାମ୍ର ମୁଦ୍ରା ଏବଂ ସ୍ୱର୍ଣ୍ଣ ମୁଦ୍ରା ମଧ୍ୟ ପ୍ରଚଳିତ ଥିଲା ସେ ସମୟରେ, ଏବଂ ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଭାବରେ ବେପାର ବ୍ୟବସାୟ ଏବଂ କ୍ରାଫ୍ଟସମ୍ୟାନସିପ ମଧ୍ୟ ବନ୍ଦ ହେଇନଥିଲା। କିଛି ପରିମାଣରେ ଯୋଉ ଲୋକମାନେ ଥିଲେ, ଧନାଢ୍ୟ ଲୋକମାନେ, ସାମ୍ରାନ୍ତ ଲୋକମାନେ, ରିଚ୍ ମ୍ୟାନ୍ ଏବଂ those are landed intermediaries like these Brahman Donis, these Samantas, Mahasamantas, they also purchased some of the luxurious item from different traders. So in this way, urban decay, land grants was one of the most important cause for this urban decay. Okay, Susri, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now it is the Rina. Your let me find out the material.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, namaskar. Sir, ମୋର ଗୋଟେ question ଥିଲା। Sir, ଆପଣ ଏ ଭିତରେ କହିଲେ କଳି ଯୁଗ ଆସିବାରୁ, sir, କଳି ଯୁଗଟା actually କେବେଠୁ, କୋଉ ଏଡିରୁ ନା କେବେଠୁ start ହେଇଛି sir?
Actually, ମୁଁ କଳିଯୁଗ ଆସିବାରୁ କହିଲିନି। You can't understand, perhaps I could not explain properly. ମୋର କହିବା କଥା, ପୁରାଣରେ ଯୋଉ ବର୍ଣ୍ଣନା କରାଯାଇଛି କଳିଯୁଗ ଏଭଳିଆ ସବୁ ହବ, ହିଷ୍ଟୋରିଆନ ମାନେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି this was the effect of the କଳି, that this sort of things happened. ସେମାନେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ବୋଧେ 3rd 4th century ଏଡି ବେଳକୁ ଏଇ ଯୁଗ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଇଗଲା, କିନ୍ତୁ exactly not that 3rd 4th century ସେଟା ଆମେ କହିପାରିବାନି। କାହିଁକି 3rd 4th century କଳି ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଲା। କଳିଯୁଗ is a Puranic concept which is based upon some sort of absurd thinking. We cannot just say that Kali Yuga or Satya Yuga ତାର ଯୁଗ ହିସାବରେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ କହିପାରିବାନି। ସେଥିପାଇଁ ଆମେ ଖାଲି ଗୋଟେ ରେଫରେନ୍ସ ଦେବା ପାଇଁ ପୁରାଣିକ ରେଫରେନ୍ସଟା ମୁଁ କହିଲି। ଏଟା ସେମିତି କିଛି ତାର ହିଷ୍ଟୋରିସିଟି ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଫିକ୍ସ କରିପାରିବାନି।
Sir, actually ଯୋଉ ଆମର ଯାଦବ ବଂଶ ସାର୍ ଥିଲା, ସେଟା କୋଉ ଏଡିରେ କଣ ଥିଲା? ଯଦୁ ବଂଶ କହୁଛନ୍ତି।
ଯଦୁବଂଶ ଏଇଟା ତ ଆମର ନାହିଁ ସିଲାବସ ରେ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଯଦୁବଂଶ ଯଦି କୃଷ୍ଣଙ୍କର ବଂଶ ଯଦି କୁହାହବ, ବାସୁଦେବ କୃଷ୍ଣଙ୍କର, ତାହେଲେ ଏଇଟାକୁ ଆମକୁ ଯିବାକୁ ପଡିବ। ସେଠି ଗୋଟେ ବହି ଅଛି, ତମେ ଯଦି ପାଇବ ତମେ ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ରିଡ୍ ଅଲସୋ, ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଇଜ ପଲିଟିକାଲ ହିଷ୍ଟ୍ରି ଅଫ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆ by H.C. Rai Chaudhary. H.C. Rai Chaudhary, Hemachandra Rai Chaudhary. And that book is very rare, but you can get it from online. Online ये जो digital library खोजले पाइबो. Hemachandra Rai Chaudhary, Political History of India from Parikhita to the end of the Gupta period. So सेठी से जदु वंश एवं विभिन्न वंश मान इक्ष्वाकु वंश विषय आलोचना करछन्ती. से अनुसार जदि देखिबा ताले एटा हो 5200 कि 300 बीसी 5200 300 बीसी. से अनुसार जदि आर्कियोलॉजिकल एविडेंस एवं हमें लिटरेरी एविडेंस को सब को मिलेबा ताले गोटे प्रकार रो कन्फ्यूजन सृष्टि हुए. कारण हमें आर्कियोलॉजिकल एविडेंस देखिले हरप्पन सिविलाइजेशन होजी around 3000 BC 3000 BC एवं तार मैच्योर पीरियड होची 2750 BC रु नै कि 2250 BC 2700 रु नै कि 2750 रु 2250 BC बंद. किंतु ये तार 3000 वर्ष पूर्व पड़ी जाउछन्ती. सो किछि अर्थ तो मानिया पय प्रस्तुत नहोती जोटा कि आमे सठिक भाव कहि परियानी जे प्रकृत रे केबे कलिजुग आरंभ हेतला केबे जदुवंश. These are yet to be proved historically, but we cannot just decline or discard the theory of Jaduvangsha or Kali Age. We cannot discard. I mean, discard kari paribani because they are part of Indian tradition, but we cannot also at the same time adopt without the proper facts and basis. हमें याको डिस्कार्ड न कले मते प्रॉपर फैक्ट एवं बेसिस न थाई कि हम ताको ग्रहण भी करि परिबानी.
Sir, what is the sir?
मो रिनार आंसर अगर दिस रे तापर योर क्वेश्चन आई टेक. मैं आज द क्वेश्चन मो नोट कर दउछ क्वेश्चन ता क्वेश्चन लता योर क्वेश्चन.
Sir, what is the relation between the concept of feudalism and urban decay? Relation.
Why tebe urban decay feudalism कोइल ना because of the landed intermediaries, because of the rise of the landed intermediaries, there was a stage and there was a state of feudalism. There was a state of feudalism and feudalism that created an atmosphere where there was absence of coin money absence hala. Then there was also the absence of trade and commerce madhya तार उपस्थिति जाहिर करि पाला. coin money एवं trade and commerce रो अनुपस्थिति रे urban decay हबा स्वाभाविक. काहे कि अर्बानाइजेशन जदि आमे आलोचना करिवे आमे आलोचना ऑलरेडी कर सरछे सेकंड ब्लॉक पढेला लकु अर्बानाइजेशन रो कांसेप्ट होची जे ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स होतबो टेक्नोलॉजिकल इनोवेशन होतबो आर्ट एंड क्राफ्ट थिबो आर्टिस्टिक एक्सीलेंस थिबो एवं कॉइन मनी थिबो गोटे राइटिंग मेथड थिबो एवडा सबेला तार फीचर. किंतु आमे देखु जे ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स आस्ते आस्ते डिक्रीज कर जाउची फ्यूडलिज्म जुगु एवं ता सहित कॉइन मनी मध्य रोनी मुद्रा रोनी फल आदान प्रदान को भाव रही पार ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स ना किए किणव. सो क्राफ्ट्समैन आर्टिसान बाध्य से गाँव को पलैले चाषबास कर रहा हूँ अर्बान डिकेर मुख्य कारण था. लोकालाइज सब जिन लोकालाइज होगला लोकाल इकोनॉमी डेवलप कला गाँ भितर जहाँ प्रोड्यूस है गाँ भितर से खर्च कले. फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आर लिविंग इन ए विलेज यू नीड राइस एवं यू आर गेटिंग इट राइस फ्रॉम योर विलेज ओनली. राइस तुम गाँव पाइल एवं यू नीड नॉट पे इट इन कैश. तुम कौन मुद्रा अर्थर किस दर ना कौन कर यू हैव सम वेजिटेबल यू आर फार्मिंग वेजिटेबल यू कैन गिव वेजिटेबल इन लिeu ऑफ राइस इन एक्सचेंज ऑफ राइस बदल तुम वेजिटेबल दे पारियो. सो सेमिति जार वेजिटेबल दरकार नहीं somebody needs oil so there are oil men fish तैलिक गाँव तैलिक मैंने अच्छा तैलिक मैंने तेल देदेले से राइस नहीं गले बदल किसी सुगर दरकार गौड़िक अच्छा गाँव में गौड़िक मान से गुड़ नहीं आइले. सो इन दिस वे the entire things become localized. Agriculture ता माने नो एग्रीकल्चर प्रोड्यूस हलानी एग्रीकल्चर लैंड एक्सपेंड कला बहुत एग्रीकल्चर हला किंतु सरप्लस कहा द्वारा एक्सप्लॉइट हला सरप्लस को किए बेसी उपभोग कला ए लैंड इंटरमीडिएट्स किंतु आगुरु सरप्लस टा कोंडी जाउतला डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन होतला क्राफ्ट्समैन आर्टिसान जो माने शहर रे रहउतले से माने प्रोड्यूस करू नथले से माने नॉन प्रोड्यूसिंग एलिमेंट थिले से माने आर्ट क्राफ्ट रेंज को नियोजित करथिले सो इन दिस वे फ्यूडलिज्म एंड अर्बन डिके दे वर कोरिलेटेड इंटररिलेटेड ओके हां रिनर मो क्वेश्चन आंसर दिए एटा होची कास्ट प्रोलिफरेशन क्वेश्चन टा the framework for consolidation is it hello
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
this is framework for consolidation कोन अछि थरे कोनटा बुझेलानी
सर एटा मो पढ़िले जे बहुत से बुझी पारले सर
जो जिनसर मु वर्तन कहलिनी एबे जहा सब कहि गली एवडा सब ता भीतर अछि फॉर एग्जांपल नंबर 1 आई टोल्ड यू लैंड एंड इंटरमीडिएट्स लैंड ग्रांट सिस्टम डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन एंड हायरार्की सामंत महासामंत महामंडलेश्वर इत्यादि एवडा सब कहली ना तापर कोन कहली लेवल सिस्टम कथा कहली अर्बन डिके कथा कहली एई सब जिंस गुडा को एई फ्रेमवर्क ऑफ कंसोलिडेशन अछि कंसोलिडेशन वेयर इन द social sphere. This framework of consolidation in the social sphere. What happened there? Actually, it कौन कहउ छी कि जे social sphere रे जाति काहे के अधिक जाति काहे के ए समय आसिले कोन उपाय in which method there were consolidation of different caste group. एठी कहया कथा तांकर होउची एक तो मु कहि दे गोटे कथा यू कैन आल्सो नोट डाउन एटी सेवन कहया कथा जे विभिन्न ट्राइबल गोष्ठी जोठी जो जो जगह रे ब्राह्मणिकल सोशल ऑर्डर स्प्रेड कला से सब अंचल विभिन्न ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन ट्राइबल एलिमेंट्स से माने ब्राह्मणिकल सोशल ऑर्डर भीतर पसिले एवं ता भीतर जो माने दोज वर स्ट्रांग एंड दोज वर ट्राइबल पेट्रियार्क कहले जो आर ट्राइबल लीडर्स दे वर accorded some sort of status equivalent to क्षत्रिय of the ब्राह्मण सोशल ऑर्डर ब्राह्मणिक सोशल ऑर्डर जो क्षत्रिय स्टेटस था दिहाला को मानकु ट्राइबल लीडर मानकु ट्राइबल पॉपुलेशन भीतर थे लीडर मानकु से बड़ा लोअर ट्राइबल मास मानकु जो माने एग्रीकल्चर रे व्यस्त रहले से मानकु कल्टीवेटर बा शूद्र कल्टीवेटर बाबर दियाला जो माने ट्राइबल ये भीतर आसी कि साधारण लोकन से तो बसवास करी कि माने ब्राह्मणिकल सोशल ऑर्डर भीतर थिया लोक मान से तो बसवास कले एवं मर्चेंट काम कले बा ट्रेडर काम कले से गां भीतर कारण ट्रेडर तो लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस ट्रेड हो नतला कले से माने गोटे टाइप रो वैश्य कैटेगरी को चली गले सो दिस वाज द प्रोसेस दिस ए जो कहूची दिस वाज द प्रोसेस ऑफ ए जो सेक्शन लेखवा है प्रोसेस ऑफ कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ डिफरेंट ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल इनटू डिफरेंट कास्ट से कौन कहूची one of the significant process that further advanced the process of proliferation of jati was the emergence of local crafts into caste group से कुछ जो लोकल क्राफ्ट्स गुडा जो सब जिंस सब तयारी होतला विभिन्न प्रकार रो क्राफ्ट्समैन जहा को हमें कहबा लोहकार कहबा बा जो कुंभकार कहबा से माने मध्य विभिन्न जाति रे परिणत ले समय फॉर एग्जांपल local crafts into caste groups as mixed caste such as Napito, Tambuliko, Chitrakara, Subannakara, Malakara, and many others. These were the local crafts groups who were indulged. They also came under the fold of different caste groups. So this was a part of consolidation of social framework. Consolidation of social framework. You read it.
Yes, sir.
Read it. You go through the books.
Yes, sir.
Point wise ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ଏଗୁଡା ଯଦି ତମେ ଟିକେ ନୋଟ କରି କରିକି ଯିବ ପଢି ପଢିକି ଯିବ you can understand.
Yes, sir.
Then okay, Dr. How are you present in the meeting? Dr. Shao? So
no, sir. I am not present in this meeting now. Sir, I have a question.
Rakesh, you have a question.
Hello?
Actually, I was expecting a question from you. You have not asked me today. You asked me.
Sir, there may be a question from the unit 13 that discuss the pros and cons of the existence of feudalism in the Indian society.
If I remember, I think you joined late. You joined now. You are not present from the beginning.
No, sir, I am not from the beginning. I am comes late.
Oh, you have come late. Okay.
Briefly tell me, sir.
I am just telling. I have already discussed this point as the debate on Indian feudalism. Now, some authors they say Indian feudalistic order began in around 6th century, 7th century AD to 13th century AD. Some of the scholars like B.N. Datta and subsequently scholars like D.D. Kosambi, they advocate that there was a feudal state of affair in India as compared to Europe. And because of this feudal character, there were certain changes occurred in Indian society, economy and polity. And R.S. Sharma, one of the leading scholar of Indian history, who is very much revered as a big and eminent historian, he published so many articles on this and also a book on Indian feudalism. And in this book, he had advocated that because of the land grant system, this sort of feudalistic character began in Indian history, land grant system. And it created a group of landed intermediaries who enjoyed the surplus produced by the tiller of the land or the Sudra cultivators, Sudra and Vaishya cultivators. And those Sudra and Vaishya cultivators, those were left homeless or they were left without any land and they were made slave like serf in European counterpart. Like serf of the European counterpart, these Sudra and Vaishya cultivators were homeless and landless fellow and they were like slave, daso. And secondly, because of this feudal character, there were decline in trade and commerce because everything was localized. Agriculture, local agriculture gave birth to different local crafts. Local crafts, as I read it now, there was crafts of Lohakaro, there was crafts of Kumbhakaro, there was crafts of Napito, then Malakaro. All these craftsmen, they were engaged in their respective craft in the villages as well as they were also carrying on the duty of cultivation. Cultivation काम करिया से तो सेवन crafts काम कले. And as a result, these craftsmen and artisans who were stationed in the township, urban areas, cities in early historic period, they were no more found there. Rather, they found their way into the villages because in the villages they could produce their own food as well as they will be engaged in their respective craftsmanship. And later on, in the social front, what we found, these crafts were crystallized into different castes. And as a result, we mark the proliferation of castes, proliferation of jati, proliferation of varna in this time, during this time. And secondly, there was political change also in this feudal order because of this feudalistic character. There we see that there were different types of power centers were bifurcated. There was division in the power center, and ଆମେ କଣ ଦେଖୁଛୁ ସାମନ୍ତ ମହାସାମନ୍ତ ମଣ୍ଡଳେଶ୍ୱର ମହାମଣ୍ଡଳେଶ୍ୱର all these types of officers were coming up who were under the king or the ruler ruling in their respective areas regions independently also in a sovereign way. So in a sense there were two types of sovereign. One is symbolic sovereign is the king, and actual sovereign is this Mandaladhikrita or Samanta Mahasamanta. And this is what the feudalistic character developed in Indian history, this period from 7th 8th century to 13th 12th 13th century AD. And this is the now what is the objection? Some scholars they say, like Harbans Mukhia, they say that feudalism as suggested by these scholars like B.N. Datta and these scholars like R.S. Sharma cannot be accepted because they have applied the model of European model of European feudalism. I have already analyzed European feudalism. You have not joined. I have already analyzed. You can go through any book. You can get European feudalism, because they say European feudalism cannot be applied in Indian context because, first of all, the serfdom was not present in India. Serfdom कहले कौन हम बुझु जेमिति आमे दास प्रथा एटी कहूछु सेमिति दास हमर जो दास प्रथा भारत रे थिला से बलिया यूरोप रो सर्फ प्रथा नथिला. यूरोप रो सर्फ प्रथा आउरी कठिन थिला आउरी कठोर थिला. भारत रो दास प्रथा हमें एटलिस्ट शूद्र मान को गां भीतर रहिया को महाजन साहुकार सहित जमीदार सहित मिसिया को दिया होतला. सर्फ मान सेतिकी भी नथिला. द्वितीय कथा से माने कहउचंती जो टाउनशिप डेवलप संपूर्ण रूपे टाउनशिप संपूर्ण रूपे एबोलिश ही नथिला. टाउनशिप वाज देयर एंड दी टाउनशिप रो जो लस्चरटा थिला, जो प्रकार गोटे सौंदर्य थिला, जो प्रकार गोटे डेवलप्ड कंडीशन थिला, दैट वाज मिसिंग. बट टाउनशिप रिमेन. उज्जैन रहिला, कौशाम्बी रहिला, अहिछत्र रहिला. ऑल दिस टाउनशिप वर देयर इन अर्ली मिडियल पीरियड. And and in South India there were also new towns were constructed, new towns. For example, there were towns like Madurai that came in during this early medieval period. The towns of this BHUBANESWAR, Ekamra Khetra, that came in early medieval period. All these townships developed during this time. But the early historic township had some more luster and activity than compared to the medieval period. Township of medieval period. So we cannot say that urbanism, feudalism of European style cannot be applied to the Indian context. Second thing, currency was also in circulation. Rich men, jamindars, and the kings and the aristocratic people, they were using coins and purchasing luxurious items from the traders. So trade and commerce was completely not obliterated, completely not removed, completely not abolished. That was there, but it was in limited scale. And that was the pros and cons. It has been mentioned as pros and cons of Indian feudalism, which we call debate. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
You go
Thank
through.
you, sir.
You go through. ମୁଁ ଯାହା ଆଜି ପଢୁଛି ତାକୁ ସବୁ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଯଦି ତମେ ପଢିଦବ, then I think you can understand it. Clear ଗୋଟେ ହେଇଯିବ, clarity ଆସିବ ବୁଝିବା ପାଇଁ. Anything. ଆମେ 13 14 ରେ ବହୁତ ସମୟ ରହିଗଲେ. 15 କୁ ଯିବାନି. 15 ତ ମୁଁ ଆଲୋଚନା କଲି ନା ନାଇଁ. 15 what is there in 15? ଆଜି ଆଉ ମୁଁ 5 ମିନିଟ୍ ବ୍ରେକ୍ ନଉନି. We shall continue and complete. Okay? Religion in society. Anything? Anybody can initiate this? Yes. Okay, you tell me, what do you understand by religion? What do you understand by religion? These are there were certain points. I'm just you will find. I'm just discussing it. Introduction, where you will get some points regarding the religion in the society. This chapter. Then geographies of religion, how in different places, different areas thrived with the different types of religion and their peculiarities and their specialities. In this sense, you will understand. Then integration as a process, and in this subsection, integration as a process. You will get to know about different types of religious activities concerning bhakti and tantric elements, how they are integrated and how they were shaped into the new religious order, new religious trend that we'll get in this chapter, in this subsection. Then temple and its role. These are the three things mainly you will find: geographical setting, then integration of the process, and temple and its role. These are the three things you will get. Now, I hope if you have studied, then please ask me a question so that I can have some discussion. Then we will go forward. And if you don't have you've not gone through, then please read it today. Tomorrow we can also take up it. With along with the next unit, next block. Medieval society. Medieval society, we have 3 units: village community, rural society in North India, rural society in peninsular India. With these 3 blocks, we can take up also this religion in society chapter, if you have not gone through. But this is one of the most important thing, how you will have to know that how temple came into existence, what is the role of the temple in shaping the religious belief of the people, how temple exercised certain influence in the social activity. Not only social activity, also sometimes temples were symbols of political supremacy. ମୁଁ ତ ମାନେ last point ରୁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରି ଯାଉଛି. For political supremacy, you will find that how these temples were helpful, and those rulers, those conquerors, warriors, and the men with strength, and they try to donate and construct temple in order to show their supremacy, not only show their supremacy, in order to advertise their supreme power through this building of temple, as well as, and they were trying to bring the faith of the people, trying to bring the loyalty of the people towards them. ନିଜ ପ୍ରତି ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କର ଆନୁଗତ୍ୟ ଆଣିବା ପାଇଁ, ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଥିବା ଧାର୍ମିକ ଭାବନାକୁ ଜାଗ୍ରତ କରି, ସେମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ମନ୍ଦିର ତିଆରି କରି, ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ ନିଜର ରାଜନୈତିକ ଆନୁଗତ୍ୟ ପ୍ରତି ଆକୃଷ୍ଟ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଟେମ୍ପଲର ଗୋଟେ ରୋଲ ଥିଲା. We can say that social identities emerged around temples as people and gods lived together. It is a very interesting thing. Try to understand. Social identities means samajiko parichaya गोटे प्रकार आत्म प्रकाश करिथिला कोथले जे केतबेले जेतले लोक माने एवं गॉड देवता माने सांग होई कि रहिले, लोक माने को भितरे देवता माने तांग घर करी रहिले. टेम्पल, अच्छा, डू यू नो व्हेन टेम्पल वाज बिल्ट इन इंडिया? Can anybody answer me when temple was built in India? This is very interesting question I am putting. First of all, you should know that whether Indian tradition, Indian culture in early historic period was allowing or had any space for temple building activity or not. It was not there. For your kind information, I may tell you, there was no temple in Vedic period. There was no temple in early Vedic period. There was no temple in Mauryan period. There was no temple in post-Mauryan period also. Mauryan period and post-Mauryan period, what temple we see? We see the temples of, not temples, ashramas, abode, which we call biharas. And within this bihara, sometimes there were some stupas and some chaityas, which were the place of worship for the Buddhist and Jaina monks. We can say place of worship or place of discourse or place of meditation. But for the first time historically, if we say historically, then it will be true. Historically, temple building activity was first noticed during the time of Gupta period. In Gupta period, we see the temples like Mahisamardin temple in Devgarh and Dasavata temple in Madhya Pradesh. These are the temples which we find, and these temples were not like the temples as we now see, with some spiral roof, शिखर थाई कि जो टेम्पल बहुत बड़ बड़ टेम्पल नुह सेटा सब गोटे छात थिला वाला फ्लैट छात थिला वाला हमर साधारण घर भलिया टेम्पल फ्लैट छात इटारे तयारी होतला. But towards early medieval period around 9th 10th century AD, this temple building activity gained momentum. Why? Because again there was some sort of, we can say, some sort of changes, transformation, and introduction of some new traits in the sphere of human belief for spiritual entities, human belief in spirituality. मनुष्यर जो स्पिरिचुअलिटी भितर जो तार भावना को नहीं जो परिवर्तन आसला, ये भावना कहीं परिवर्तन आसला, सामाजिक क्षेत्र जो परिवर्तन है, अर्थनैतिक क्षेत्र जो परिवर्तन है, राजनीतिक क्षेत्र जो परिवर्तन है, से परिवर्तन गुड़िकर किछिटा अंश मनुष्यर भावना क्षेत्र रे मध्य चिंतारे मध्य एवं मनुष्यर थॉट रे मध्य प्रतिफलित है एवं एई थॉट मध्य स्पिरिचुअलिटी की नहीं जो थॉट था क्षेत्र मध्य प्रतिफलित है. जो ट्राइबल एवं नॉन ट्राइबल गोष्ठी, ट्राइबल एवं ब्राह्मणिकल गोष्ठी भीतर इंटरमिक्सचर है, इंटरैक्शन है, जहाँ फल आम देखु जाति संख्या बढ़ीगला, वर्णर प्रोलिफरेशन है, वर्णर संख्या बढ़ीगला. ये देखो ट्राइबल method of worship which was resting upon tantricism was being accepted by the Brahmanical social order. Tantric practices along with worship through bhakti combinedly gave birth to a new religious order. Gave birth to a new religious order, we may say religious ideas. Bhakti and tantric practices combinedly gave birth to a new religious ideas, and it took the shape of which we can say puja, devotion, worship, like that. And this is because Brahmanical traditions, Brahmanical followers, they accepted tantric way of worship of the tribal in order to owe them, in order to attract them towards their fold. Similarly, tantric tribal people also, they also accepted the Brahmanical way of worship or devotion or bhakti in order to in order to proclaim themselves at par with the Brahmanical social manner. In this way, there was interaction of tribal as well as Brahmanical social order and spiritual thought, and that gave birth to a new spiritual ideas in this early medieval period, and we see its reflection in the temple activity and in these various types of performance of puja and rituals, etc. in different parts of India. You read them Okay. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You
Sir.
read them all. You read them. If you get some difficulty, aji padho, kali padho. Tomorrow again we shall initiate this topic. You may initiate this topic if you want. जो तमे चाहबा हमें again ये topic टाको initiate करिबा और फिर discussion करिबा and tomorrow we shall discuss about this topic. This block number it will be block number 5, medieval society, village community, rural society, peninsular India. These are the 3 topics, not so important and not so vast. You read them and try to understand and note down your doubts, your question, so that tomorrow also we can have a very healthy discussion and counseling classes as we did today. I think you are all clear, as well as your ideas, your concept doubts are properly clarified.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think
Yes,
it's the time
sir.
that I should. Okay, thank you. Then should we wind up for today? ଆଜି ପାଇଁ ଏତିକି ରଖିବା.
Again, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good night to you
Thank
all.
you, sir. Thank you so
Good
much.
night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.